Hi, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kristen. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing a book review for Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. So I finally read this book. I have been wanting to read it for so long. I had just been putting it off for the longest time. I don't know why, but I finally decided to read it, and after finishing it, I decided I wanted to do a book review video for this book. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of explain what it's all about and then just give my thoughts on it, and this is going to be spoiler free. So Better Than the Movies follows Wes and Liz, and so the two of them are next door neighbors, and it's kind of an enemies to lovers story, I guess, a little bit, but basically the two of them don't really get along. They've known each other since they were little kids. He always used to like tease her and stuff, and so she's just always kind of like not really liked him, and they fight over this parking spot that's like in front of their houses, and it's kind of been this like ongoing thing where they try to like beat each other to that spot or like hold the spot for their car, that sort of thing. And so at this point they are seniors in high school, and basically Liz has kind of romanticized her life a lot, I guess you could say, just because of her mom. Her mom was very like into rom-coms. I think her mom was like a screenwriter, and she was super into rom-coms, so she showed Liz like all of these like iconic rom-coms when she was younger, and so she's kind of always had this idea in her head of like finding this right person and having like a movie moment and just stuff like that. And so at this point prom is coming up, and she finds out that this boy named Michael, who she used to have a crush on when she was younger, but then he moved away, so now he's back. She has this idea in her head that like she's meant to be with him and he's like her person. He's someone that her mom would like approve of and want her to be with, because at this point her mom has passed away. Her mom passed away when she was younger, so yeah, she's just always kind of like had these little rules for herself and ideas in her head that were from her mom, and she kind of sticks to them because of her like not really wanting to let go of her mother. So now she's kind of stuck on this idea of getting Michael to notice her and to want to be with her and ask her out and all that. So she runs into him again, and she sees that Michael and Wes, who's her neighbor, have kind of hit it off again. They were really good friends when they were little, and now that he's back they've like reconnected and become friends again. And so she realizes that the best way to get to Michael and get him to notice her is through Wes. So basically she goes to Wes to ask him for his help in getting Michael to like notice her and to in the end ask her to prom. That's kind of like her end goal. So Wes ends up agreeing to it, and basically they kind of start like scheming for her to get Michael to notice her. He like brings her to like little hangouts with his friends, and she starts hanging out with them and trying to get closer to Michael. Obviously as all of that happens, she's growing a lot closer to Wes. So yeah, that's kind of the summary of what this book is all about. I'm gonna go ahead and go into some of my thoughts on it now. So yeah, this book is a young adult book. I don't really read YA very often. I have a few YA books on my shelf and a few that I've enjoyed, but I don't typically reach for YA. I feel like this one was kind of a very typical, like what you would expect out of a young adult romance book, where it takes place in high school and the whole like prom moment, all of that. It just felt very much like a kind of typical like cliche teen love story, but this one was kind of more of like a lighthearted romance, I think, that didn't really have too much seriousness going on. Well, I guess it kind of did, because it does deal with like the whole fact that her mother passed away when she was younger. You don't actually like see that happening because she is already older. Her mom passed away when she was young, but like she had a very close relationship with her mom, and she misses her mom all the time and always thinks about her mom. But like I said, this one felt like a very just like cliche love story between teenagers, like you would see in any like teenage love story movie or book out there. I enjoyed it. I really did. I actually thought this book was really cute, and I did really like it a lot, but there wasn't anything like really special about it in that sense, I guess. I do think that this book felt very much like a movie, I guess, because like whenever I read books I like visualize it like it's like a movie playing in my head. I know a lot of people do that, some people don't do that, but when I read I visualize like a movie, and I feel like with this book it flowed really well to where it felt like a movie. Like I could literally see it playing in my head. It was one of those books that just flowed so perfectly that I think it could like perfectly translate into a movie if they were to ever make it into a movie. And something else I really liked about this book is that each chapter had a quote from a rom-com, so I thought that was cute that there was like little quotes before each one. I feel like a fake because I always talk about how much I love rom-coms and like rom-com movies, and like a lot of the movies that were quoted in this I actually have not seen them, but I did like all the little rom-com references in this book. I thought it was cute, and I liked that Liz Liz was like really into rom-coms. She was also really into music and like into making playlists and stuff, so I thought that was like a cute part of the story. And so I liked kind of those little additions, like I said, of like the quotes being included in the front of each chapter, and then there's also a playlist for Wes and Liz at the end of it, so I thought that was cute because it's basically like all the songs that they kind of discussed were in this playlist. But yeah, now kind of going into the characters, I did really like them. I liked them as individuals and I really liked their interactions together. I thought Liz was like a sweet character. I liked her personality. Something I liked about Liz was that she was like very much herself and like not really like afraid to be herself and kind of like embrace the things that she loved and the way that she was, because I feel like some of the people around her would like say stuff about the way she dressed or like the things she liked, but she was never really like afraid to embrace those things and be herself, so I did really like that about her. And then Wes, I thought he was so sweet. Like I loved him, and like just the way he treated her, it was really cute. Like you just kind of start to see this other side of him because the book is in Liz's perspective, and so at first she kind of like sees him a certain way, but then as time goes on he starts to show that he's not really the way she thought he was. So yeah, they were likable characters to me, and then I just think the two of them together were really cute. They had like cute funny banter between them because he teased her a lot and she kind of would say things back to him, so I liked that. Like they had their whole back and forth going on throughout the whole book, and you can just see like how she is with him versus like everyone else in her life. Like she starts to grow really close to him and he becomes like a really good friend to her. And then I also liked the side characters too, and I liked kind of seeing her relationships with the different people in her life and kind of the way she handles that stuff. There was times where she didn't handle her relationships that well with some of the people in her life, but I feel like she was able to kind of like fix that in the end. So I did really enjoy this book. I thought it was really cute. I mean, it was a fun book for what it was. I've talked about this book before. It was in my 5-star predictions video that I did kind of recently, but it wasn't 5 stars. Really was like expecting it to be like an amazing book, but I rated it 4.5 stars, which is obviously still a really good rating. Like it was still a really good book. I did really love it and think it was really cute. There was just a few things I didn't love about it. I think I just didn't connect with it as much because the characters are younger, going through things that I don't really relate to for the most part. I also feel like I wanted a little bit more to the story, especially towards the end. Like I wanted more of their relationship and kind of the two of them together, because I feel like we got to see a lot of them like just becoming friends and getting closer and all of that, but I would have liked to see just a little bit more of them after that and actually seeing them as a couple. Also, this book does take place in a short period of time. I feel like it should have taken place over kind of like a longer time period, and I know like the two of them have known each other since they were kids, so it's not like they really had to get through like a whole like get to know you thing or whatever, but like I don't know, I just feel like there could have been more between them to at least make me like believe in them a little bit more than I do. But yeah, those were my thoughts on this book. I know that there's like a couple bonus chapters. There's one where it's like prom in Wes's perspective, I'm pretty sure, and then there's one that's like their like college road trip, and so I haven't read either of those yet, but I definitely want to. I feel like if I read those it would like kind of improve my opinion on this story and this couple and everything, so I definitely want to read those soon. But yeah, those are my thoughts on this book. Like I said, I enjoyed it. It was a cute story. It was 4.5 stars. If you've read this book, definitely let me know any of your thoughts on it. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. If you liked this and you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would stick around and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.